welcome back. So let us discuss today the next topic of the lesson. Before that, how are you all? I hope you are all fine. So watching videos and understanding the lessons, I think all of you are sitting at home, isn't it? So I wish you all the best and I wish you to grasp all the lessons of your science subject. So let us start the lesson. So before I go to the class, yesterday in the last class we studied, what I taught you, let us discuss. So where are we? The lesson is respiration in organisms, isn't it? So continue watching the videos of all the lessons. See, one lesson comprises of few videos. Don't disconnect that. I wish you to watch all the videos in continuation so that you can understand the lesson well, isn't it? So now today and the last class I said that we will continue the breathing of different animals. I want to explain today. So before that, what is this breathing? What is the respiration? I shown you with some activities, isn't it? Isn't it? I shown you your friend's chest cavity expands or not. How many breaths how many breaths you will note from your breathing of your friend, and what is the difference between inhaled and exhaled air? Isn't it? Now, so next in different scientists. What are the scientists who discovered the breathing gases? What are the breathing gases? I taught you. Those are oxygen and carbon dioxide. As I said, air is a mixture of gases. So all the gases are not useful for our body. Where do they go and what is the function they do? We have discussed in inhalation and exhalation processes, and that comes under respiration. Isn't it? So now, who discovered this oxygen? Joseph Priestley by Bell jar experiment with the help of rat, mint plant and candle, isn't it? Now, and oxygen was discovered by first step by von Helmont and Joseph Black by the experiments on burning of charcoal. Did you get it? Yes, I hope you revised that. Now, in the last class I was teaching that percentage of gases. Percentage of gases. So how do you conclude that oxygen is this oxygen and carbon dioxide percentage, what we inhale and exhale, are those same or not? So let us see that. I concluded this. I didn't conclude in the last video. So today I want to see what happens to this oxygen and carbon dioxide when they are inside our body. How much percentage? What we inhale, is it same while exhaling also? We will see. See now, gas name, oxygen, carbon dioxide, nitrogen and others. Understand? Now, inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Now, while you inhale, what if you inhale oxygen, that is 16%, the exhalation 9 to 10% only will come out. Remaining 6 to 7% where it is. What happens? Carbon dioxide 0.04 only present there, as we know. When we inhale, but 40% will be out when we exhale. For example, 97% of nitrogen and other remaining gases are of course more than that. So when exhale, 97.5 like that. What happens to this? Why can't what we inhale the same gas we are not exhaling? Isn't it? All the living organisms including plants, animals, need oxygen and must throw out the carbon dioxide. So why this much percentage of oxygen? They said that you must verify from your library or teacher. So as a teacher, I'll explain you now. This oxygen, what we consume, the oxygen which is consumed will be used for our oxidation of food materials. Oxidation of food materials. Oxidation of food materials. Understand? What happens? When we inhale, the oxygen in the air enters into our body and filled in the lungs, and there by the lungs through the process of diffusion it reaches to all over the cells in our body and gets in the cells what is present, it mix up with the blood, and in the blood already our food will be stored in the form of glucose. Then only the food is said to be digested. Understand? Now that process of burning of the food materials into carbon dioxide and energy is called as respiration. So for the respiration process, we can define in another: respiration is equal to glucose gives rise to energy plus carbon dioxide in another sense. In the shortcut, respiration is nothing but oxidation of food materials in the cells, liberating heat, energy and carbon dioxide. So this is the hidden process involved with the use of oxygen, that in later classes, in other classes, in higher classes, you will be learning this respiration in detail. Okay? So now you must understand that respiration is a process of oxidation of food materials. Oxidation means nothing adding oxygen to the food to be burnt, to be broken. Understand? So that some amount of heat, energy and carbon dioxide will be released. So that is the use of that's why consumption of oxygen is more than the carbon dioxide. Okay? So from all this, now this is the use of oxygen in our body. I hope you understood. Okay? That's why the oxygen percent will be less in inhalation. Carbon dioxide percent is more because the CO2 must be collected by all the cells. In our body, so that to be eliminated out. That's why even though we inhale some less percentage, we are exhaling more percentage of carbon dioxide. After utilization of the food where the oxygen and where the this gas works, there compulsory carbon dioxide will be there. Okay, so collecting all the cells carbon dioxide will be thrown out. That's why carbon dioxide percentage will be more. Nitrogen, there is no use. Whatever we inhale, that much amount we can exhale. Okay, always. Sometimes it may composition may be varied. Okay, so this is the secret of percentage of gases. Why the variation? So on basis of this, you can understand more in your higher classes. Okay, so I hope you understood what is breathing and what is respiration, what is inhalation, what is exhalation, and what are the activities on breathing and respiration, and who concluded that this gas is oxygen and this gas is carbon dioxide, isn't it? So up to that what you have learned, and this is the last topic, percentage of gases. And one more topic also you have concluded yesterday by learning that presence of oxygen is proved by the change in color of phenolphthalein solution, isn't it? Phenolphthalein milky white substance. The milky white substance. See what is that? See the person inhaling and exhaling the rubber tubes through the rubber tube. This is the mouth. Okay. Now, so connect the two rubber tubes. This is I shown in the last video class. So these are the boiling tubes, means not like test tubes. Boiling tubes bigger than the test tubes. Those are called boiling tubes. To test the presence of oxygen, you must use phenolphthalein solution. So that phenolphthalein is an indicator. Phenolphthalein is an indicator which turns something. If oxygen gas is passed into this, you must inhale and exhale. Inhaling and exhaling. Inhaling, you must blow out, you must suck out the air from this and throw into this boiling tube and pass into this boiling tubes. So that the phenolphthalein solution, if we take in the boiling tubes, pink color phenolphthalein indicator, it shows some change of other color, so that it indicates that there is oxygen in inhaled air. Oxygen in inhaled air, or wherever it is wherever oxygen, phenolphthalein indicator, it changes its color. Okay. So if it is carbon dioxide, what happens? If it is carbon dioxide in the exhaled air, the solution must be lime water. What is that? How do you prepare this phenolphthalein solution in lime water? You should prepare the solutions previously by adding some amount of 100 ml of water to that indicators. Okay. Now lime water, if you take in these boiling tubes, that lime water on that top surface when you inhale or exhale, in the present when you exhale, carbon dioxide, when it is releasing out to this boiling tubes through this rubber tube, as soon as the carbon dioxide is passed into this boiling tubes, you can notice a thin film-like layer, whitish layer you can observe on the top of this lime water. Okay, so this indicates that the carbon dioxide is present in exhaled air. Carbon dioxide is present in exhaled air. Okay. Now, so that you proved that both carbon dioxide and oxygen are helpful in our breathing. So by this, we understood that these are the two important gases which helps us to breathe. If we breathe, we can be alive, isn't it? Okay. Now, is the breathing, how do we take a breath? Through our nose, isn't it? Through nose, the air enters into our nose through these two nostrils and it fills into our chest cavity. As I said in the previous classes, the lungs are filled with this air, isn't it? So now, is the process of breathing is same in all the organisms or not? Process of breathing is not any different in different organisms. It will be same, but how does they breathe? How does they take in air? Now human beings, how does they take in air? What are the respiratory organs? Human beings, the lungs, isn't it? So now today in this class I am going to explain breathing in different animals. Breathing in different animals. So being human the biggest animal among all. Let us see what are the respiratory organs and respiratory organs and respiratory organs and animals. Okay. So what are the respiratory organs in human beings? It's better to write like this. Organisms. It's better to write like this so that you can understand well. Organisms, respiratory organs. As I said that breathing will take place in all the organisms, in all the living organisms. Breathing is considered as them to be alive. So if breathing is carrying on, respiration is carrying on, they can say that he is or it is alive, isn't it? But process of taking in air into their body is not same in all the organisms, isn't it? So you must notice that, and you should understand before you are learning breathing in different animals. So what are the respiratory organs in human beings? Yes, respiratory organs in human beings are lungs. What are those? Lungs. So lungs are air-filled bag-like structures, balloon-like structures. When they inhale, they'll expand. They are spongy, bag-like, balloon-like structures enclosed in our chest cavity. Understand? Now, human beings. What are the respiratory organs in fishes? Yes, you know. Those are gills. Gills will be like this. What is the problem? How does they breathe? I'll show you in the next part of the lesson. Okay? Next, frog. How does the frog respires? Is the same like human beings or any other? Before that, you must know its habitat. But here, just you understand that skin and lungs. Isn't it? Name other animal. Any other animal, how does it breathe? Yes. Earthworm. What is this earthworm? Earthworm respires through skin. Earthworm respires through skin. Understand? Now, these are some of the organs. Human beings are vertebrates. These three are invertebrates. What is the difference between vertebrates and invertebrates? You will be going to learn in classification of organisms in your 9th standard. Okay? Now, vertebrates means who are having vertebral column, backbone, and fish and this frog are invertebrates who are not having vertebral column. Okay? These are low developed animals. These are higher developed animals. Now, let us see how does the fish, frog takes in air. Okay? What are the respiratory organs? We know fish and frog through fish gills and frog through skin and lungs. Isn't it? I hope you learned these respiratory organs in different organisms. Now, how does the fish breathe? Does the fish and frog, do they have same organs? No. Why the special organs called gills? What is the habitat of fish? Fish habitat is nothing but water. Aquatic organism, isn't it? Aquarius habit. Now, so how does they breathe? They will also take definitely oxygen. Which type of oxygen? Which type of oxygen? They will be. How does the fish takes in air? The oxygen which is dissolved in water. Which is dissolved in water. So as the fish live in water, what are the organs of fish? These are the gills, and this is covered by, these gills are covered by operculum. Operculum. So the fish, see for example the aquatic animals, gills we have taken as gills are the respiratory organs in fishes. So how does the gills help in respiration in fishes? Let us see. Okay. Now see, gills are the red color structures. When you buy the fish, the operculum, near the mouth there is a flap-like structure covers the gills. That is called operculum. If you open that operculum, reddish some plate-like structures you can find. So reddish plate-like structures means through which blood flows. Okay. If it is pure red blood is coming, that you can say that it is a fresh. If the color of the blood changes into another brown, thick brown color like that, fish have died for a long time. Understand? So you can no need to consume that as a food. So this is the indication. That's why whoever purchases the fish, they'll open the operculum and observe the gills. If the gills are reddish in color, blood is flowing on, blood is flowing out, and through the gills. So the water, how does the respiration helps through the gills, we'll see. So see, the dissolved oxygen will enter into the mouth. Fish always opens the mouth and close. Did you observe? If you have an aquarium in your house, just watch the fish. How does it move? It moves frequently open its mouth and closes, isn't it? When it's open, the oxygen will enter into the body and passes through the gills, and they come out through that mouth. Okay? So internal branchial aperture, external branchial aperture. Some apertures will be there in the operculum so that water is flushed out and water is poured into. Okay? So through these gills, the dissolved oxygen will be passed. How the lungs will work in our body, like that, gills will work in the fish, and from that gills, the oxygen is carried to the remaining cells of the body, and thus the respiration is carried in fishes. Okay? So now, breathing in different animals, I explained the respiration in fishes. Is it clear? So now, what are the respiratory organs? Gills. These are the fins, the body, tail. Of course, gills are covered by which structure? Operculum. Gills are covered by operculum, isn't it? So, as soon as it's open the mouth and close, the water enters and flows through the gills and moves out. Their exchange of gases takes place. Oxygen enter and carbon dioxide will come out. Okay? So if exchange of gases is nothing but respiration, isn't it? Breathing. Oxygen we inhale, carbon dioxide we exhale. As a living organism, fish also, oxygen will be taken through these gills and flushed out. Dissolved water in the oxygen is present in the dissolved water. No, that's why through the mouth and pass through the gills, the water is flushed out and carbon dioxide there present will be flushed out. Okay, so there the exchange of gases takes place. Okay? Gills are the respiratory organs in aquatic organisms. Not all aquatic organisms will have the gills. Let us come to the frog. Tadpole of the frog is the next larval stage of the frog. So it will not live on land. It will live on water. But tadpole and the fish will not have same respiratory organs. Understand? So as soon as you finish this fish, let us move to the frog. So frog respiratory organs, as I said, what are those? What are those? Skin and lungs, isn't it? So it respires through the skin, and when it respires through the lungs, respiration in frog is of two types, one with lungs and another with skin. So before you learn the respiration of frog, you should know its habitat. What is its habitat? Tadpole of frog will live in water. Tadpole like this will be there. It lives in water. The frog terrestrial habitat. When do we see these frogs? In now season, rainy. What is the season? Rainy season. Yes. These frogs you can observe very clearly in this season, that is rainy season. So the frogs which are having terrestrial habit. What is that? Terrestrial habitat. Terrestrial means which lives on land. Understand? But what is the habitat? What does the frog called? It is called amphibian. What is called? It is called amphibian. What is this word? Why does the frogs are amphibians? We will continue in the next class.